Hello everyone, Borders Dude here with a video review, and today I'm taking a look at MPH and Galaxy Toys' new Mini O2 Armoured Wizard, their take on a micromaster scaled Warpath. Starting with the box, very lovely drawing and box art, very amateur style, would be the best way to describe it I guess. It's not got that usual sort of third party sheen we would see with the likes of Doctor Who, for example. You can sort of see the difference there in terms of the art style, which is no bad thing because it's always good to differentiate yourself from the competition, which Doctor Who certainly is in this case. At the back we have a drawing of the alt mode. Now the alt mode shows a gun here, which you don't get with this figure, but you do get it with another one of MPH's earlier releases, which I'll show you later. On the side we have some information telling you, if you are going to recycle this, do it properly, and the ages of the figure, that you should be giving this to 16 and up. Any younger, you shouldn't be giving it to them for choking hazard, I assume. Some warning signs, which, take them as you will. Sad onion. Apparently, this has been tested according to international standards. It's third party, take that with a pinch of salt. You do not get an instruction manual with this figure. Instead, you have these QR codes here that take you to Mang Motion's earlier video that shows you how to transform the figure in a stop motion fashion. The instructions are okay, but I do think they could have been improved. That's the box. Let's do a jump cut and take a look at the figure itself, shall we? Warpath now out of the packaging. Let's get a better look at the figure. As you can see, he is very small in line with the Doctor Who scale of figures. Let's just get that size comparison out the way with a couple of figures to give you an idea of what you're getting with him. We'll bring in the classic G1 micromaster tote, my favourite. Let's then bring in a modern micromaster. So you see the scale there. I'll whip them away. We shall bring in Doctor Who's Ultra Magnus. Now he is on the bigger side of the Doctor Who figures, to be fair. I'll bring in another micromaster from Doctor Who, just to give a better rendition. Now it is Cosmos, and Cosmos was always a bit smaller. Cosmos I got from Primetime Toys, by the way, check them out. And lastly, what I will do is bring in a Commander class figure from Hasbro. Call him what you want, he's friendly to me, don't at me in the comments. And I will bring in MPH Studios' very first release, as this will be the sort of benchmark to where he will scale in your collection, I would assume, which is their little version of Beachcomber. So that gives you an idea of the scale you're dealing with here with the micromaster sized Warpath. Onto the figure itself, so we'll start with that paint job. The paint job does definitely match the Warpath colours, that burgundy red, and the die cast metal paint and the plastic paint does match very well, considering that the early prototypes of this figure showed a incredible mismatch. They have matched the paint. However, the paint on the metal parts is easily chipped, which is a bit of a shame. You can see, the chips already starting on the couple of times I've transformed this. There as well. Now that's actually just plastic, but you don't see that part in alt mode. So in terms of the generosity of paint that they have used, it is minimal at best. Now articulation, start with his arms first. You've got a double hinge at the elbow, you've got a ball joint at the shoulder, which will give you the full 360 range. The arm movement is just really an wrist in and out for transformation. The head itself is on an incredibly tight ball joint, which you can flip up. and it can do a full 360, but I would not recommend this as it's prone to popping off. You do get a swivel at the waist, you get a high bend at the knee, and there is also a hip skirt with a ball joint at the top of the leg to give you a level of articulation. There is no ankle tilt, just due to how this transforms, which is a shame, but that, I guess that can't be helped, or it could have been at the design process, who knows. You're getting a reasonable amount for the size of the figure in terms of articulation, but it could have certainly been improved. Overall, the robot mode design I like. I love how they've matched the paint. He does have an animation accurate look. He is just unfortunately missing a bit of quality control in terms of paint applications, or a generosity of paint applied, be it on both the metal and indeed plastic, which I'm just now noticing as I'm reviewing this figure. It's okay though, given the price you pay for this, which is just over sort of £13 to £15 depending on where you get it. Obviously that'll vary depending on your country's exchange rate, but still a bit of a downer there on the paint itself. Let's take a look at him in his alt mode next. Mini Warpath all transform now, and we'll start off with some scale comparisons. We'll first bring in his Wavemate MPH Mini Beachcomber, so they scale quite well, and that'll be the sort of de facto scale, I guess. However, Dr. Wu's Cosmos does look okay with him, so they will complement each other in the line. We'll bring in a classic G1 Micromaster tote. Looks okay there scale wise. We'll bring in a Commander class style RID Fix-It. And lastly, for the Hot Wheels aficionados, there he is with the Thunder Tank. Now the scale comparison is out the way, let's take a look at the alt modes in a bit more detail. So I'll bring them closer to the camera. Now that cut you can see on my thumb is from this very figure that is trying to move these in and out as part of the transformation process. So be careful, or you may end up with a war wound from Warpath. You can see where the die-cast parts are as they're shining on the light, but the paint does match. However, the paint chipping is very evident, which is a big letdown on this figure, as the die-cast parts are meant to be the IP, or the unique selling point, I guess, the USP of this line. And I think for future revisions or new releases, they have an Optimus Prime up and coming. I hope they have been a bit more generous with that paint application. The transformation itself is a pain, particularly the arms. I've actually lost a hinge doing this transformation off camera, and goodness knows if I'll find it again, but hey, I think in some cases with some third-party figures I'm just a bit unlucky. However, it will still transform, and indeed it will still stick in robot mode as well, but I'm sure I'll come across it in the year 2006. The alt mode looks incredibly like Warpath, very G1 accurate. The turret is meant to extend in some way, but I cannot see how that is done in any fashion. It's very odd. I don't know if it was a feature that was maybe removed when it went to final production or not. But yeah, there we are. So the final thoughts on MPH Studios' Warpath. Don't recommend it. Yes, with caution. If you like minifigures such as Dr. Wu and are looking for a complementary line to go beside it, this is their first real new release in this scale. It's a happy accident that Beachcomber from their very first release does scale with this more than anything else. You have to treat this with kid gloves when it comes to transformation, or you're going to get things popping off of the figure, and because of the small stature of the figure, it is very hard to find them if they land on a carpet. If you can get it at current price or even at a discount price in the future, it's definitely worth a pick up as a curio piece more than anything else. But really, I would, in all honesty, wait to see what Doctor Wu's version is. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have you got this figure? And if so, hopefully you've got a better copy than mine. Overall, I like it, with some cautionary tales. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Pop that in, because that's part of the transformation, and pause.